What is the best option for government to address the looming power crisis for the summer of 2015? Will Congress grant the President the authority to invoke Section 71 of the APIRA law to enable him to secure the additional generating capacity to prevent brownouts? And joining us tonight on NewsLife is Congressman Reynaldo Umali, the Chairman of the House Energy Committee. Good evening, sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Hi, good evening, Robert. Good evening to all our televiewers.
Now, sir, a request was made by the President to grant him the authority to address the looming power crisis for the summer of 2015. Now, instead of a joint resolution, you will be conducting an inquiry to determine if there really is a shortage or not. Now, why is this so?
In fact, the output of the hearings will be a joint resolution. But we had to do this, and I think Speaker Belmonte and Majority Floor Leader Boyet Gonzales thought it best that they should file House Bill 1533 because there is no detail as yet that was submitted to us by the President. So this is why an inquiry is necessary, because under APIRA Section 71, we need to first make a determination of the imminent shortage of power, and then the second is the terms and conditions of the authority to be granted to the President. So these are things that we will tackle when we call the hearings of the Committee on Energy.
Right now, is there an actual number of how many megawatts, or if there really is a shortage, or how much do we need for us to be able to go through the summer months without any brownouts?
In the recent discussion of the House leaders with Secretary Petilla, Secretary Petilla presented 4 different scenarios of a minimum of 600 megawatts short or deficit to about 1,200 megawatts of power deficit. So it's anywhere between that, but he is looking at the scenario where there will be a mild El Nino with forced outages, and this would amount to about 800 megawatts of power shortfall.
Now, sir, with this number in mind, now what kind of options do you have? There's the uninterruptible load program or the lease or purchase of modular generating power plants. Which are we leaning towards?
Well, the ILP is just one of the options available, and so far, based on our computations, the interruptible load program would cover about 420 megawatts. Okay. So this will still be not enough. We are also looking at plants for interconnection. Yeah. There are about 256 megawatts based on indicated figures given us during our technical working group meetings. We're looking also at about 690 megawatts of committed plants, but there has got to be rehabilitation work done on this committed plants. So all told, per our last technical working group meeting, we have assembled about 2,369.6 megawatts of power. But of course, there are a lot of things that we need to do, because it is not as easy as saying there are this available, these are potential, but there has got to be a lot more things to do, like rehabilitation and formulating the protocols on how to implement an ILP and the other mechanisms.
So, sir, so does this mean with the kind of load that we need during the summer months, we have to use all options? Is that what you're saying?
We're trying to exhaust ILP and the plans for interconnection and the committed plans. If this will already suffice, then we may not need to contract by way of lease. Because contracting by way of lease is really will cost government a lot. This will cost a minimum of 6 billion.
6 billion.
As against the computation of Meralco of about, I think, about 600 million for 300 megawatts.
300 megawatts. But looking at 300 megawatts, I think you told me that the minimum what we need is about 600 megawatts. So if we're going to get about 300 megawatts, where are we going to get the rest? And how much would this actually cost the government?
As I mentioned, the interruptible load program is about 400. We can still further rely on plans for interconnection, and this is about 256, and probably about 690 megawatts for those committed plans. So, all told, I think we will have more than 1,000 to tap if and when it becomes necessary without having to resort to a lease.
So do we have an exact cost for that, or a ballpark figure on the 1,000 megawatts that we will be needing during next year?
The cost will be way below the lease of about 6 billion. So far, the minimum is about 600 million. It can run to about 1 billion or a little more than that. But still, this will be a cheaper alternative to leasing the plants.
So now, one of the options is having the companies with embedded power to make a commitment. Now, should this be made voluntary or should it be mandatory?
To the extent possible, since we're dealing with private sector and these are private properties, we want to respect the property rights of these business enterprises. But of course, we can always resort to the police power of the state if and when it becomes necessary. But still, the first priority is get them to voluntarily participate.
And sir, and finally, a request was made by the President. Now, do we actually need to get this kind of authority from Congress for us to be able to move forward? Or is there already any commitment by the private sector on this?
Well, the President has spoken. The President has declared an imminent shortage. From our end, from my end, on a personal note, I think we need to support the President because definitely we're not looking at brownouts as an option. We will have to provide power because this will be counterproductive if we suffer from brownouts in the summer of 2015. Bearing in mind that our growth rate are exceeding our forecast. And so we cannot, this will be a big letdown to government if we have brownouts. So the thing is, we will have to support the President, but to what extent that will have to be defined in the joint resolution. And this is the reason for us calling for committee hearings to define the terms and conditions of the authority to be granted.
So to add to that, how do we ensure the general public that come next summer, they won't have this kind of problem?
The thing is, we have to get more contracts entered into by the, of course, this is not government contracting, but preferably Meralco and the RESA, they call it RESA. This is the Retail Electricity Suppliers Association. To ink contracts with the GenCos and with the private sector. And so if we can have more of this, then this will be the assurance that there will be no brownouts.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here to another News Live. That was Congressman Reynaldo Umali, the chairman of the House Energy Committee. Thank you, sir.